Peace, family. How you doing?
Good, my lord. How's everything,
Uh,
man?
Doing all right. Roller coaster that is 2025, but it ain't no different than any other year as far as I'm concerned. Just,
I know that.
just
I
hold,
know that's right.
hold on to your hats, and we just trying to maintain over here, man. You good?
I'm good, my lord. I can't complain, man.
Yeah, no, dope. You back? You back out west? You still out east, or where you?
I'm still in the East,
Oh,
man. Just finishing up, man. Production is a motherfucker, man.
yeah. So,
It's a motherfucker, man.
so now you still out here. That's dope. We're glad everything is well. This is our first show of the year. So.
Indeed, man. Happy New Year, brother. How's everything been for you, man?
Yeah, we just got projects. Just staying busy, man. When I'm not busy, I do dumb shit. That's just me. So like I try to like make sure. I mean, but so like this project's really just trying to look at the future, man. I really, for me, each year, as I say, the days are long, but the years are short, and everything seems to be moving really quickly. My parent, everybody seems like people are aging in 5 year increments, and
Yeah.
so I'm just trying to just keep pushing forward, and wherever I end up, whenever the ball stops spinning, that's where I end up. But I'm just pushing forward. So I got a lot of projects going on. We're excited to announce some things in the future, near future. I'll talk to you about that. But just working, man, head down, and,
Yeah,
and
man. Yeah.
just dodging the bullshit, man. Just bobbing weed, man. It ain't nothing. Like I want to talk about some of that too later. Just so but yeah, let's get into it, man. This is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Everybody, this is episode 43 of Constant Elevation.
Yeah.
We're very proud to say that. Episode 43. This is our monthly bill with Brother Jay, legendary co-host here. My name is Tamal, like Jamal with the T's. First Wednesday of every month, we typically do this. We didn't get to do it in January. We built on real shit, real topics in hip hop, and we get a little deeper in life in general, and we talk some heavy stuff and some light stuff as well. We give flowers and we bounce around and talk about some really important stuff we think. And so all of our prior episodes are on the Carrying the Culture YouTube channel, and we're gonna get it rocking. So episode 43, man. Always proud to say each time we do one, it's always you know always happy to say that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. No doubt.
yeah. Um, so here's what we're gonna do. So we've talked a couple of times, like how like it's weird. I saw you on TV as a young kid, and you seem so much older. I mean, don't see somebody on TV, right? And so, but like getting lessons and stuff as a youngster, and then we're building as adults, and really not that too far apart in age. But as I said before, I kind of had an image, right, of who I thought like this what it was, like just from like Rap City and shit or whatever it was, um and then we've had some conversations where you had some opinions that have surprised me, and we had some healthy discussion on them, and I really appreciate that. So some of our conversations have sparked some other questions that I had. Some I wanted to jump around it on a few different topics. Some people over the course of our show have hit me up with some questions. Like, oh, yo, why don't you ask Brother Jay this? What do you thinks of this? Some pretty good questions building on like some of the shows that we've had in the past. So I thought we'd jump around and talk about some of that stuff and kind of just for one. And then we're gonna open it up to people. If you have questions in the audience, you can put them use the questions feature below, and then I can pull them up for Brother Jay. So be a little bit interactive. So ready to rock.
Yeah,
Um,
indeed.
Work. So let me see what we're gonna get to. Somebody sent me. Yo, what is the play like? Because we've had different discussions about commercial hip hop. Like, what is where in the grand scheme of things for you does that fit? Like, like because there's been times where I've been like, I felt like we've been on the same page as far as like a particular topic about commercial hip hop or something like that. And then there's times where I'm like, you might have said, like, well, so and so's like successful or something like that. And then I'm like, wait, I'm confused. So like, for you, where does it all like just where does it all fit? I guess if
Yeah,
that.
I guess you're referring to the Fat Joe thing then.
I mean, it could be Fat Joe. It could be. We've had a lot of conversations, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
Yeah,
even just necessarily that, but
yeah,
that
but you know, all right. So in my mind, commercial music to me is similar to what a professional team would be to a street baller. All right. When you have an opportunity to get on those major brands, that's your Lakers, that's your Knicks, that's your whatever.
right.
They're underground brands where it really goes into um, like a G League, you know, a place that you train your talent, or if you're the type of player that doesn't want the pressure of a commercial league that's demanding you to run a certain system, you might go run in a more underground league. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to sports with me always. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, with the Fat Joe, I was defending his music and then he went out of character. I have to apologize to people that even go between our pages because I was standing up for him being a person of his brand, you know, having something for 20, 30 years that you can still put in front, you know, of the people and whatnot, and they stand up and respect it. But then he made a bad comment about black folks. I wasn't even looking at his character. You know what I'm saying? One thing about me is that if you're dope and then you have good character, that makes you nice to me. You know what I'm saying? You could be a good poet and be an asshole and you're not going to get a nod from me. But for someone like that, that never, you know, blatantly put it out there for people to be like, yo, this fucker and shit. And I was looking at him like he was the representation for Puerto Rican artists, you know, where people were saying the identity, he was like the host of the label. And you know what I'm saying? So commercially, he has made it when you're pushing hundreds of thousands of dollars and you're writing the checks for your team and so on and so on, you've made your brand survive. So to your question, where you're asking me, you know, where is the my line with the commercial and so on, is basically um like professional, like getting on to, you're not running on your own power. You have an institution that's behind you. You know what I'm saying? Helping you spend that marketing money, helping you get that radio rotation and so on. So, you know, being there, you know, I know what it was like and I know what it's like to be independent where I'm the mule for my team. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I view it, my
Did
lord.
you always have this perspective, like, or did this was this something that adapted over time, that came to you over time, just being in the industry? Like, did 19? Like, how old were you when X-Con came out? It was 89, right? So when y'all dropped. So how old were you?
I was like 18. I
So
was 18. I wrote Heed the Word probably 16, 17 when I was on security. I was on security duty. I was training.
so a long time ago, Young Buck. So then, like, did you always have this outlook on it, or was this something that just being in the part of the music business, you kind of grew over time?
Well, you got to think about it, bro. What are we in it for? You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? Everybody
I know.
wants, you know what I'm saying? When everybody wants to sign to a major brand. When I was in high school, that's why I did the talent shows. You want your name to spread. You want to be in your hood. You want to be respected. If somebody said who's the best talent in my neighborhood, I want them to mention my name. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Top 3, top 5. You know what I'm saying? And that gives you the opportunity to say, come to the lab. Do you have songs? Do you have catalog? You know what I'm saying? Things that we weren't doing back then. That's when I learned. And that's when I said, look, it's just like me signing the Island Records with X Clan. That was my first, you know, my first demo submission or anything, bro. I got lucky. Some people have to wait years and years. But, you know, for
Right.
what we were to my city, the label was gaining, you know, people who are in the grassroots part of New York, you know, actually fighting for justice and whatnot. And the label becomes the bullhorn. So I was blessed to be on a label like that. And that put me above just being an MC from around the way. It's like
Mm.
people spend money on him. You know what I'm saying? People spend money on them to move around the country. If you just rapping for cats around the way, you know what I'm saying? You know, what's the goal? So
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. So it's funny, man, because you know, And this is why this is very helpful for me because again, as a kid, I turned on the TV thinking somebody even said I thought you were like 40, my G. I'm exaggerating, but like it seemed. You got to understand me, like, and hearing these powerful messages, like, like, Professor, like it was just crazy. So like, what I'm saying, it's really interesting to hear you be like, yeah, we're trying to get bread, because like in my head, I'm like, I I've I put you in a corner. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like
Yes.
pigeonhole, like, and so it's like it's helping me like to kind of figure like I just understand you better.
Well, you want support, brother. It's not so much as bread. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that paper that comes from the label, you never see it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And so if it's on a PO instead of purchase order, you just walking into the studio, it's covered. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
When you go on the road, I never paid the tour bus in cash is covered. You know what I'm saying? So you want the support behind what you're doing so you can show up and be present for your audience. Otherwise, you're gonna be paying that expensive ass tour bus bill, that gas. You're not gonna push across the country if it's coming across your pocket, dog. You know what I'm saying? But if the label's behind you, they're bringing their juice, their audience. Say we signed something new, y'all come out and view or whatever, and then add it on to the people that loved us from what we were given. That creates your audience.
well, yeah,
So, so you want the label behind you. You want a brand behind you, and
right,
not for them to spend money on you. It's just that let us be the artist, let us be the creative source, and assist us in places to understand our market. Because when you make that music in your house and all that kind of stuff, you're not thinking about somebody in Wyoming getting a poster or getting the vibration and whatnot. The labels are putting you on like, hey, other people around the world are fucking with you. So let's prepare something for them. When you have a label, they have one place that they can contact you. Remember, we didn't have web pages and all that kind of stuff.
right, right,
And,
right,
and,
right, right.
and even with that, you don't even know how far you're.
So 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 from day one, this is what's been interesting that you're sharing me. So from day one with you and excellent, like the business part was equally as important as the artistic piece. Is that correct?
I couldn't hear say it again.
The business component was equally as important as the artistic component, and was that like
Yeah,
yeah,
yes. But in the 90s, that's not what everybody was focusing on, because when you go and get your brand accepted and the label takes a loan out for you, you know, the first thing on your mind is not going to business school to understand entertainment business. You know what I'm saying? You have entertainment lawyers and you have regular lawyers. So you know, if you're going to learn entertainment law and business, you got to take that time out and learn that. That's something I talk about in the documentary, is that when you first get those budgets, somebody has to sacrifice to go to school, somebody has to sacrifice to go to engineering class, and you got to invest in equipment. You feel me?
right,
You got to invest in equipment without question.
right,
So, you know, and that's what you're not thinking, because everybody's hollering, screaming, they love you, you're playing everywhere, you can't walk up the street, can't go to the mall, you know, you're on your Jim Morrison and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you're not thinking like, let me stop all of this and go to school right quick and do whatever. And you
right,
know,
right,
and that was one of my major problems at that time. Because remember, I'm young. This would have been like college years for me. So the touring was my college. So I'm gaining knowledge from the manager at the time, the promotion people, all of this
mm,
stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if you stupid, you know, you're gonna be in the room drinking and carrying on and fucking with the broads and all this other shit. But if you smart, you learning game from people that already sacrificed that time.
word, word,
You know what
word.
I'm saying?
Makes perfect sense.
And you can tell who has done that and who hasn't in today's industry, bro. You can
Right.
tell the ones.
Yeah, because you can see by how they move now. You can see by how they move now how they were moving back then.
Yes, exactly. So now, what, you know, these budgets are not available anymore on this shit, so I don't die out.
Uh,
But
it's an annual ritual,
yeah,
y'all. Every show We have wouldn't be a show with Brother Jay. You could produce,
If the phone don't
started
block
out as a
out.
DJ, producing everything, mastering, editing, but can't seem to get to. I'm gonna go in on you for this. Can't seem to get get the charging right.
Yo, my shit
But yo, we'll
burn
get another
all
more
day,
show.
son.
It's all
My,
good though.
my
I
shit
love it.
burn all day, son. I be trying to hold on to shit, so
Well, that's what
trust
I mean.
me.
Listen, my battery's so low. I mean, I got to keep mine charged, or it'll die out
Yeah,
in like 2 minutes.
it's
So,
fucking crazy, man, but
uh,
I got it charged now.
you good? You good? So, yeah, it wouldn't be a show though. It wouldn't be a typical show. Well, all right, let me ask you a question because I think this
Certainly.
will you understand better too. So let's go back like to when you were like when hip hop. I mean, because for us it was like just kind of everywhere, but like when for you it's different. Like you always talk to me about like how you were getting lessons and getting knowledge and stuff like that. But at the same time, there was always clearly a musical dope musical aspect. Explain else we wouldn't rock with you. So like,
Yes.
which means you appreciate the music. You started out as a DJ and everything. Like, was did one come before the other, or like were you like learning, these important life lessons and things like that about our people and stuff like that simultaneously, or was it like you fell in love with like music and hip hop, and then that came a little bit later, or was it just all from the same group of same circle?
I got you. I was a DJ first. You know what I'm saying? That was the most attractive aspect to me because to learn the rhythm of people is the key to everything. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at producers nowadays, the ones that were DJs are better than the plug and play producers that are born in today's era. And not to insult them, but everything is basically written out for producers nowadays. You just plug the computer and damn near the AI and the programming is doing everything for you. You don't have to learn time stretching and certain samples and things like that. You're really just using the kits that are there to put together a cousin of your thought. Where we're back in the days, we're digging in the crate, you find a break, you find the sweet spots or whatever case may be, you get your chops, and then you find your layers. You know what I'm saying? So when I was DJing back then, I was learning what the people respond to. The only reason I started rhyming, you know what I'm saying, because as a beatbox in school where you can't bring your equipment, I was watching how cats were weak as fuck, man. I mean, the lyrics was just corny. I think, the early stages of hip hop, people were just amazed by, the spoken word of hip hop. The fact that you were bold enough just to say something out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And no matter if you were cursing or keeping it clean, a lot of the first music was clean at first. But when cats started going past the censorship lines and whatnot and say, well, damn, NWA's gone gold, calling women, bitches and shit and calling niggas and whatnot, and they're going platinum and shit right in their own state. So, cats started getting over comfortable and shit. But, when I was rhyming or when I was learning how to rhyme, my gate was my pops and then also my mom's. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to put out something to where I was cursing folks out. You know what I'm saying? I thought the spoken word side of me saved me from that because I was more of a poet and a DJ than an MC. So joining Black Watch, they didn't have solid messengers there at that time frame, bro. And and the guard Shaft was just adamant about me submitting what I was doing in my basement. Me and him was in the basement killing shit. You know what I'm saying? DJing, and I'm grabbing the mic and showing what I could do. I had to improve from high school because high school was my primitive rap. That was my trying to learn what people was feeling from me. As an MC, you gotta, as a DJ puts on records and you get people standing on the floor, and some people walk away. You gotta learn in your crate what's the shit. So as an MC, you gotta learn in your book what is the shit. You know what I'm saying? Every rhyme is not the same. Every tempo is not the same. What are people feeling from my tone and my shit? So it fell seamlessly to me from DJ to MC. So I mean, You know, I knew what I wanted to do, and being a messenger for the movement, I didn't have to play by MC rules. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't rapping for the top 40 to this, and that. I didn't even sign the Island Records for that regard. We just had a bigger platform than just being in Brooklyn and being, you know, the Black Wash movement. Now we had a label stating the freedom message that we were trying to give to people, like stand up for yourself, improve yourself. That's what Marcus Garvey is about, improvement. You know, Negro Improvement Association from years ago. So you wearing red, black, and green. That's what you extending. So my theme was set. I
Gotcha.
didn't have to go through, you know, do you like me in penny loafer shoes and Sinbad pants and Jerry curls and all kind of crazy shit. I didn't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? I was in a school training. We really was supposed to be even out like that. But you know, it was that time for, you know, our era of that, of the organization that we were in. It was that time for us to be exposed, my lord, and the rest was history.
Yeah, no, that's dope. Thank you for clarifying that. One of the things and we were talking about, like, artists getting the bread and stuff like that, or just, you know, how does an artist balance, or even art, especially an artist like you, balance survival, eating, keeping the lights on, and while maintaining their artistic integrity?
Well, you got to pick your battles. You know, I tell artists all the time, where you lend your life force is important. If you go to a job you don't like, you're going to write angry shit. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, in any form of artistry, if you go to work to a job you don't like, you come home and paint and, you know, and express in a fucked up manner if you don't like your gig. So I've done all kinds of jobs, but the point was, I can't lend my life energy to something that's going to disturb my calling. You know, for every artist, it's not a calling. Some people just have a moment. But for what I do, as far as, you know, for the movement aspect of what's happening, for inspiration and positive energy, I can't stop. I have to see it like how a reverend goes to the church every Sunday, or the rabbi to the synagogue, or so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? I have enlightenment calling for me in hip hop to do a specific thing. That's why I demand the right platforms for it, you know, and I don't compromise. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. No, that makes sense. I mean, I think and I think as an artist, you guys have some difficult choices to make, right? I mean, I'm sure, like, I mean, like if you're principled, it seems like anytime anyone takes a stance with principles, right? Isn't it funny how, like, you're always presented with a situation immediately after to test those principles, and we're pretty that and I think I'm sure there's been times where you're like, well, this this might look nice, but this is better for my for what we're trying to do. So you got
Yeah, yeah.
to make
For
them.
sanity, I think so more. I didn't mean to cut you,
No,
brother,
good.
but I was just saying, on the level of points you're saying, sometimes you take a break from this music to go work a regular gig just for your sanity. You know what I'm saying? Because there can be a point where you're prostituting yourself to say, yo, I can come into your club lesser than what I charge for when I do the bigger shows. And you can get addicted to that for selling yourself short. You know what I'm saying? So if you are $5,000-$6,000 a night artist, or whatever case may be, and then you go to a promoter like, yo, 1,500 right quick, let me do whatever. You know, you're like serving yourself like crack. You know what I'm saying? And if you get to those points, you got to stop, go find something that's not below your level. Like if you're a artist of prestige, you know, you're a powerful person. You're not gonna go for the Wendy's job. You're not gonna go for the McDonald's job, and not to diss that, but if you're gonna go into something that's beneath the level of where you put your esteem on a high level and shit, it's gonna affect everything that you
Right,
do. It's gonna be like, damn, I'm out. I used to have 10,000 people in front of me, and now I'm asking niggas what they want on they sandwich and shit, nigga. You know, you're gonna bang your sanity to the pulp. So you find something that can keep you in a low key status, give you the survival level, and then you're not coming to work every day like somebody's like, hey, let me get an autograph, and you're going through that. What happened? And all this other shit. So, find work that matches where you want to exist at right now. I need to take a break from music, but I need to have enough to pay for my shit. You got to sit and strategize and pick your
Mm.
battle where you put your life force. And I'm kicking that as advice to cats and shit, because you want to keep yourself up on a level, man. You don't want to put yourself in a slave job, and you're doing something with freedom of expression. You know what I'm saying? You want to find something that says, let me find a gig that inspires me to get up and do whatever. And then at lunchtime, I'm inspired. I worked everything from farm shit to uh, uh, driving long distance, all kinds of shit. Driving long distance, I was able to listen to my music. You know what I'm saying? Listen to beats. See what I'm saying? How it adds on to what's happening. It's not like, damn, I've been at work 12 hours. I couldn't even turn on my shit or whatever. So when I'm going to pick work, I'm picking shit to where, at this time I can go get off. I can get off a half a bar, 16 bars of what I'm working on. I got Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays off. I pick one day to go to the lab, spend a little bit of my pay and see where it's at, see if I still love it. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? Because if you don't love it, why are you in it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is like a bad broad. Right now she's in the ear of all the little trap hustlers and shit, and she used to be hanging with the niggas with the beads and and the knowledge and shit, and now you want to hang with the sag pants and the gold chain and the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like a bad relationship. Like sometimes we get along, sometimes we don't.
She's,
You know what I'm saying? That's how hip hop
that's
is.
true, man. She used to be with the dudes with the Fidel Castro hats,
You
and you know what I mean.
know what I'm saying?
We all had the. I had the. I had the X hat. I had the medallion. Yo, I wanted to be. Listen, you inspired a lot of us, man. So that's why again we thought you were like 40 years old when you were really like
Yeah,
7 years old or
because
whatever.
our music was mature
Yeah.
for what we were saying, our content, and then I had older brothers in my crew. So if it had been me and Shaft, you know what I'm saying, it would probably look like a young boy crew trying to kick some positive message. But the fact that I blended generations into the crew, you couldn't tell how old we were. It was timeless.
Time was
So now we had older and younger audience in one place, just for the fact of having older brothers inside the team.
crazy. That's crazy.
Uh,
Like, yeah,
yeah,
like
man.
I literally thought you were old enough to be like my grandfather or some shit. I mean,
Nah,
but
man, I
that's
was as young as the people listening to our shit
but
at the
that's
time, dog. That's why I was like,
and that's powerful though.
I couldn't. Yes,
That's
my boy.
that says a lot about that says a lot about what you were learning, what you were getting, the knowledge you were getting. It says a lot about the people. Somebody even said it. It said a lot about the people that you were surrounded by. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
and it's always better. We even see that in sports. If you train with older cats, like you go. I used to play ball. I played. I was 12 and I played with like 15-year-olds or whatever. When I'm getting my ass bust, but then I'm going back with my 12-year-olds, killing them,
Yes.
cooking. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it, it's always good when you can get the knowledge and when you just sit in the corner and listen, shut the fuck up. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And then
Exactly.
yeah, and that too.
Exactly. And being on security, just being on point, staying attention, bro. I'm around people that shift shit at that time. You know what I'm saying? If we want to change the name of a street to Malcolm X Boulevard or Marcus Garvey or whatever the fuck, I'm with the niggas that was doing it. So I'm like, wow, I'm learning, how to shift the community into what we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with hip hop, I can shift it to what we are. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, so that was inspirational for me, just to shut up, just shut the hell up and sit back and do my job, protect the elder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Protect the people that are in this building coming to hear the message of the community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where we started at. There was no starting off as shows. I didn't join Black Watch and do shows like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's what it was. The maturity sent through that. So when you look at us as 17, 18 years old, dog. Me and Shaft was young like that.
Right.
But we around older niggas, really holding it down for them and hearing what it was in the 60s, to meet somebody that hung out with Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? That's different than go home and read the book and come back with the report and tell us,
Yeah.
recruit. You know what I'm saying? It was like, nah, man, we sitting down and building with a cat who really was on deck.
Yeah.
Someone that met Clarence 13X or something, and knew his intentions and not what it became down the line as a 5% or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When it was a young ministers program, it was when 5% was bringing cats on the street to refine their power.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it was that before it became like lingo that cats just memorize and feel like you in and shit. Nah, man. There were things that were sacred to the street.
Yeah.
And hearing those conversations like that amongst these elders and whatnot about that and other organizations, man, that kind of, how could I rhyme anything else but what I was talking about, bro? After hearing something like that, what am I going to some kid and play rap or some shit, nigga? I'm not gonna. It ain't gonna be that, and no disrespect to them, but that's just not it for me, man. I felt this was like freedom of speech. You can whisper to this mic and touch a couple 100,000 people, dog. We fighting in Brooklyn just for people to come to the rallies and the little meetings and shit. And now you telling me I could just stand somewhere and people are hollering and gathering and a couple hundred people in a second if I really want it like that. So you got to maintain that in your head and not get a big head either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the other shit they don't teach you. You know what I'm saying? You got to maintain that ego, man. It's a lot of power, God body. You know what I'm saying? When you control people movements and how they move on the dance floor and shit, that's close to sex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a powerful control and shit, man. So to be in a young man like that and to have my elders around me to help me discipline, man, that saved me, dog. If I had just been a regular rap dude, I might be one of them wild stories, nigga. Like he just dumbed out 12 bottles of alcohol a day. 50 bags of this and that. I didn't have no room for that, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember shit getting smacked out of my hand at times. It's cool to have a drink and be cool with it, but to be a total slosh nigga and be walking around and representing the RBG, that's not gonna happen, my dog. Not at all, man. It's
Yeah.
not
So,
supposed to happen, man.
yeah, I mean, you didn't have a choice really. I mean, after, you did, but it would have been the wrong one, of course. I mean, it's just,
Correct.
like you get, that's the thing. When we get knowledge, we have an obligation then actually to kind of keep going that route. So
Responsibility, man. Responsibility is
yeah,
heavy and you gotta take that shit
yeah,
seriously, regardless if you in the circle or not. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah,
why I disband what Black Watch was, because if people are not willing to do it every day, then what's the purpose of the organization? You know what
correct.
I'm saying? We was on it every fucking day. And when people get older and if your responsibilities don't exist in that lifestyle, then close the chapter, man, and just keep the memories and shit.
Right, right,
Dance, put the medallions on and dance in the house and shit, but you're not living it.
right,
You're
right.
not
Yeah,
living
no,
it.
it's a good point. Um, yo, I want to go back to this. Just like this topic we were talking about earlier, a little bit with this kind of commercial hip hop. Where did I have this question? Is it like, and I'm just genuinely asking, I, I feel like we've talked about unity in hip hop, and then we've at the same time, you and I have been going against XYZ situation going on in hip hop, like both of them on the same page. Like, what's the balance? I mean, I'm just asking, like, even if you're just talking to me, like, what's the balance between saying, okay, this is new shit, and it's adapting and evolving, and people gonna have their own lane versus going like, nah, that's some bullshit. Like, fuck all that. Like, just words of advice from you. Like, where does one draw the line, or is it all just like, oh, it's all good because everybody's trying, and give everybody a chance, or is it, where are you with that?
Well,
Yeah.
the line draws with me where the decency
Mm.
of the music is where it fucks with me. if you listen to the top 5 songs right now, the decency is not there. Even from people that walked away on the stages with the trophies the other night. You know what I'm saying? I can't play any of that music. I'd say 75% of that music that was awarded can't be played in front of a family. All right. Or for any inspirational shit. It's strictly for, I'm coming in to get some of this music bag. This is a big millionaire business, and I'm coming to just get in and get out. There's no inspiration from that as far as something that lets you say, damn, I got to think like that. Like when Kendrick came out with I Love Myself, I thought that was one of the dopest records. He did the Isley Brothers record over. The song was powerful, lyrical, it was experimental, and it left you with something. I don't get anything from They Ain't Like Us. You know what I'm saying? The hook can be flipped into something else, as inspiration. Like, people are not built like certain people on this planet of Earth. You know what I'm saying? And we have to have like a kind of a resurgence of that energy. So instead of it being something that is an anthem for us, it became some fucking battle shit where you call a nigga out and you're a pedophile, you're this, you're that and shit. That's not something to award us for. You know what I'm saying? When y'all snubbed Kendrick and gave it to Macklemore, you know what I'm saying? That's the Kendrick you should have awarded to give people an example of where to write.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, it's funny how the Grammys, I mean, I don't fuck with them at all, but since we just kind of went there, like those award shows, like, or all these platforms don't fuck with the original real shit. They don't fuck with anything authentic, but as soon as we do the song and dance, the monkey shit, all over it takes off, here's your fucking award, right?
Correct.
Like, like
Correct.
they it's like, wait, it's like, did they give, hold on, Denzel didn't get the Oscar for Malcolm X, but I think they got it for Training Day.
Correct.
So
they gave it
there
to
you
him for
go.
some other shit.
There
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
go.
saying. It's the same time.
They,
You award us when we're at a low
there you
situation, and I don't
go.
fuck with it. I don't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said the line is at the decency, and for the people running the machines, they don't have a decency level. You may be fucking with somebody that has like a raw fucked up humor, and they just want to hear goofy shit, coon shit out of niggas. You feel me? They feel like, hey man, black music comes up here. If it's not coonish, I'm not fucking with it. You don't have nothing on the table, positive, dog. Nothing.
Not even as an
Common.
option to lose. Not even as a fourth choice.
I don't even understand it. I'm like, I didn't even know if Common and them got nominated last night. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, the project wasn't as marketed as, and mind you now, Kendrick was winning this off of one song. This is not even like the whole body of work. This is like you created a diss battle for two black men to fight, and then you award the fool more trophies than the kid he was battling got in his whole life. You award him all in one day.
See? It's
You
that
feel
fucking
me?
organ grinder shit, man. It's that
Yeah,
it's
bro. Yeah, exactly.
it,
Kumbak. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, yo, I love Kendrick's artistry, dog, but there was a rhythm that he presented himself to when he came, man, and it was very refreshing to say, well, damn, a nigga from Compton, he's not banging. You got a backpacker style to your shit, and backpackers are hard too, this motherfucker. So for you to represent that element of LA, I've been in LA for a long time, dog. Just California, period. For you to represent that element that you were coming from would have been a big mark for that other side of the street, dog. For
right.
cats that are not just talking about I'll smoke you and put the gun in your mouth and put your girl in the trunk and all that other shit, you would have did so much for the other side of the street because we all in the same neighborhood regardless. But
Right.
that other side of the street would have been put forward by nigga, and then people would say, yo, man, that Kendrick is on to something, man. I need to love myself. Let me write something. Let me go find another one of those kind of
Right.
breaks. But now you award him for dissing a motherfucker and calling him out in the public on some shit that you don't even have right to know or not or whatever. You don't even have none of that on the table. No evidence of what it is. You were just dissing. So every time you sing this song, even at the Super Bowl, I really want to see how they handle the lyrics, because in my mind, it's like, where's the defamation coming? Are you accumulating all this money to a point where Drake can just say, "Hey, drop the guillotine"? You sang it at the Super Bowl. You diss me on Spotify. That shit got 1,000,000,000 spins, nigga. Let me get all that money and go ahead and disappear, dog. Because yo, he would have the right to, man.
Yeah.
He would have the right to. You call this nigga out directly and shit, man, and you not only destroying him, you're destroying his production company.
Right.
When you get to a certain level, you're feeding a staff of people. So you imagine the lawsuit that can happen behind that kind of shit. And
Yeah.
why would you want to give a Grammy to infuse that shit further? Because now people say, "Oh, who's this young man?" Suppose I don't even listen to hip hop. I go listen to this shit. This nigga got a great ride. He's talking about A minor and all kind of bullshit. You know, who's he talking about? Yo, dog, you could be making that nigga Drake very rich right now, dog, on the low. Lawyer probably just say, "Hey, sit back and let's absorb this," because
That's yeah.
he didn't intend it to go that far.
Right. Right.
And look at how you celebrate this man with that. You telling me his past bodies of work weren't good enough to get them 5 trophies, nigga? For real, for real. Get out of here, man. That dude was
Damn.
already dope back in the days when he first came. You had to stand from Dre. Dre ain't really fucking with too much that's goofy, bro.
I heard it.
I just hate that it went like that. Like, you celebrate him
Yeah.
on an angry tip, going down the block to smack somebody in the face. You're not even celebrating the real lyrical warrior that he is. That's wild shit, man.
Yeah. That was funny. I was thinking about that same shit. I was like, oh, he cleaned up but for that track of all tracks, when there has been other stuff in the past. I mean, yeah, it's just a wild, it's it's monkey shit, man. That's all it is. So,
It
uh,
is, and that's where you got to draw the line. That's what you were asking me. Like, where's the line draw? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get mad at somebody and come out and be uh blatant, just coming out my face, and your girl is this and you doing this and blah blah blah. That shit, that battle rap used to be a private thing. I would have rather just seen them get on stage like King of the Dot or some shit and just fucking just go at it, nigga, and yell at each other's face on some battle rap shit or something. You know what I'm saying? Rather than go through, fucking up this industry. We already too savage and rude in our presentation with music. We have no decency, dog. Even the shorty that won the award is like, suck my dick, this and that, woo, woo, woo. As a female talking this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then when you say, damn, that's kind of wild, aggressive for a female to say, niggas be like, oh, you don't like her? She's the future. And you just not getting with the new era and all this other shit. And I'm like, yo, dog, wait a minute. I thought Shorty was fly. Why can't something else come out her mouth? You come in for your first Grammy and all your shit was sucking my dick, sucking my dick, no, 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 whatever the fuck she was talking about. And I couldn't believe it. I'm watching the Tiny Desk, the background singers is doing that shit. It's almost like you programmed it to say, let me give you everything that you want to hear. Dick, pussy, bullshit. And whatever the experiment was, it worked when she walks off the stage. Now, what do you think a young girl is gonna write, dog, who wants to be on that same stage in the pretty dress and the earrings and the whole shit?
yeah,
What the fuck you think she gonna write, bro? What you
that's
think the young dudes is gonna write? Like, yo, let me go write that I'm smoking on my homie tonight. You know what I'm saying? A nigga that I took off and just make a big diss record and people will just gravitate to me. That's what the fuck. That's how ignorant people are. And for A&R not to see that, your ear is truly not to the street enough for you to have that fucking position. I'm down to get a gang of A&Rs fired, my nigga. You don't even understand me. I'm down to start getting motherfucking protests, letters, shit, nigga, to roll up on people's label like, yo, man, your A&Rs are really detached. I want you to go sit in the back car of a mom going to pick her kids up from school from the shit that you okayed, and watch how a 4 or 5-year-old got the whole Megan Thee Stallion Pussy Power album memorized, and the moms is bumping it too. Even when she go to the yoga class, they bumping it at the class too, nigga. I want you to see what the fuck you started, because that market has never suffered before, brother. Yin Yang Twins would have been hot, regardless if it went pop or not, because every strip club in the United States of America was playing that goddamn song. You didn't do them a service or not by putting that shit on the popular shit. Matter of fact, they got so popular that the Rock the Vote niggas invited them to come to the fucking to the political election, dog, to represent hip hop. That's how stupid that is. So where I draw my line on the decency level with this shit, man, I advise a lot of artists out here to do the same, because they'll come to you with the crazy offers. Hey, man, write this booty music. You saw the song that Buster did with the girl with the beach ball and all that shit. Do you think that was in his motherfucking writer's list to do? I got to do a song about some pussy shit with a Brazil girl. Like we spoke about it, when a nigga came and said, yo, man, 30K video shit, man, I give you a piece of the deal. Why not, nigga? Why not? Who gonna say something? Who gonna say something when that paper has hit my hand and hit my account? What the fuck they gonna say? They continue to do it, my lord. There's no line. Cats will say, yo, man, if the zeros match, dog, I'll go ahead and consider it, man.
That's
the problem
that,
all the way around the board. The decency, God body, is just
yeah, man. That's hard for me because I'm not. That's just And again, I can't expect people to have my values. That's not me. Like I've turned down jobs because of like because of certain things that were like part of the company's background. I'm like, oh, like I can't find. Once I did a little bit more knowledge, I don't
yes.
know, but whatever. People are going to be people, but it's hard though because But here's the thing: nothing really surprises me anymore because and that's the thing that the 52 fake out is real, man. I mean, I see a lot of my favorite artists like doing questionable things, and it's like, wow, okay, like you said, the dollars line up. So my question to you before we only have 10 minutes left, but I got a question kind of leading into that. Is there a definition that you have of I mean, this term gets tossed around a lot, and it has for a while, like a sellout in hip hop. Do you have a Brother J definition of that term? Do you even acknowledge that term, or where?
Well, yes, I do, because the shit that I spoke about with Fat Joe is a sellout to me. You know what I'm saying? I was here defending this man on the page, arguing with people and shit. Like, leave a nigga alone, man. He got his fucking brand and shit, nigga. I'm glad he's still around to say Terror Squad, nigga, for
Right, right,
whatever it's
right, right,
worth.
right,
And then
right.
you go on the fucking a black show at that. You go on fucking Math Hoffa and them niggas and start talking about, yeah, and the niggas are broke niggas and all kind of shit. And then I'm like, wow, that's a sellout because we supported you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We don't see no separate with the Puerto Rican family. It's all minority when motherfuckers look at all of us. So we in the same boat. How the fuck you get above where we all at in the melting pot, dog, and all of a sudden now you like a fucking Karen, Florida type nigga and shit, talking about these niggas and broke niggers and all this other shit, like, word, dog? Wow.
Yeah,
I think that is a classic level of sellout, dog. And you know how wholeheartedly I was. I was on there defending and shit, and Fat Joe, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Leave him alone, nigga. He gonna be the next Rick Ross, nigga. I was on my bullshit, dog. And look how I'm a bad judge of character on that. I gotta apologize to everybody that was talking shit against that nigga and shit. I gotta say, yo, man, y'all was right.
yeah.
You know,
No,
because that was a heavy sellout, bro.
well, that's the perfect example. Yeah, you made a good point. Like I was thinking of, yeah, he's like the housewife in Boca Raton, like you know what I'm saying, with the slippers on and getting the newspaper or whatever. Like
Dang,
that,
son.
that
That's a
gated community
sellout.
type bad Joe. Like, nigga, you from the Bronx, son. Like that's the thing. That's the worst part about it. When cats that should know better based on where they're from, but then do the 52 Vegas. You're like, what? Like, hold up. Like
Yeah,
you Joey Crack like BX graph writer. Like you know what it is. And it's
but I just felt
so,
that his responsibility to where his celebrity is, been reality
yeah,
shows and
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
different shit. So your tier change. Some
Yeah.
niggas are mad because they can't look out their window and say, hey, Fat Joe's opening up the fucking spot and shit. You know what I'm saying? Some people are
Right,
mad
right,
like that. And I was trying to defend it like, yo, this nigga's whole shit has changed. But yo,
right.
you was talking like you was a fucking white dude or something, dog. That's detached to something, like a fucking total left ass. I couldn't understand it, God body. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I couldn't understand it. And I was like, yo, Joe from the Bronx, dog. I mean, there's a certain unwritten rule in New York with the melting pot of how things are. We share cultures. Niggas uptown in Yonkers talking like they're Italian niggas. You ever listen to how Jada Kiss talk, nigga? That's like, if you close your eyes, you would think it's an Italian motherfucker rhyming or some shit. The way he get off and shit,
right,
you're like, yeah,
right, right.
yeah, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? We share ethnicity here in a strange fucking way as you exist in cities like that. So Fat Joe should know fucking better. You don't diss no black brothers on no
Yeah,
shit and call us broke or whatever. Nigga, come on, man. We hold it down differently, dog. We don't go at Puerto Ricans like that. And that's them making that Puerto Rican black thing with the start of hip hop and all that other shit, man. Come on, dog. You create a racial line in this motherfucker that you can't ignore at that point, because we were all supportive of each other. We were all looking for who's gonna be the one to take us to the next level, who's gonna get signed to the label and take the hood to the next plane and shit. That's what we were all looking for, God
yeah,
body.
yeah. That
You know?
division is difficult to see, and that was part of one of the things I wanted to talk about. You kind of led into it nicely. It's just yeah, it's like because I mean I'm from Connecticut, but Jersey, the whole area is like I had a ton of Puerto Rican friends. We all most of the black friends I knew, we all had like broken Spanish. Just being in the hood, like you just knowing, just growing up, right, and going to houses and like I'd be like, mira,
Yeah,
mi coach.
lingo.
I mean, so it was is so yeah, to see this divide in recent years is like really disappointing because that I didn't grow up with that at all, like at all. I didn't see. I mean, I know it's different in the prisons and jails and stuff. I know Rikers is different and shit like that, but I know because the race shit. But I didn't grow up
It's
like
just different, man. Even whiteheads who grew up in the hoods like that, dog, their lingo is different, and how they
that.
kick it
Was
is different, and what
yeah,
they're allowed to say is differently, man. Because you pay dues with motherfuckers, man.
it it,
Come on, dog.
it,
It's
it
certain shit, certain motherfuckers, man. Like, how many Tommies we got in the hood, nigga? The Tommy from Power and shit. How many Tommies we got like that? And if a nigga like that was to say, yo, nigga, what the fuck are you doing and shit, you wouldn't be like, hey, you saying the N-word? You wouldn't say that because
yeah,
this nigga been here 35 years, 40 years, all his life. His mom talked shit. Whatever the fuck it
yeah.
was.
Yeah, there are
These are
exceptions.
unwritten rules.
I'm glad you're speaking on that. People really don't understand that. Like, it's not a blanket situation everywhere. Like, especially in that it's different some places. Like, I close my eyes. There's cats. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with the rapper China Mac. Like,
Mm.
he's he's. If you close your eyes, I said, I said, listen to this dude talk. I said, close your eyes. I said, don't listen. I said, don't. She's like he was like, I put the 40 cal to his neck. Like I'm like, I mean, so Brooklyn accent. I mean, it's just I knew a dude. He was like, I'm Nolan. I'm from Brooklyn. He was like an attorney by day, a drug dealer by night, and he was like a white kid, and he had gold front. He was. It's
Yes,
just different. It's just different.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
where you pay your dues,
Yeah.
man. So we as we're concluding our situation, bro, I just tell people, pick your battles, man. It's when this music thing opened up to a worldwide situation, you really got to pick your battles and know what you want out of the game. So that way nobody can try to bamboozle you and say, hey, look at this, it's shiny. If you know what you want, you know what to refuse.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that way you have your career last as long as you need it to last. Nothing is forever, dog. Look at how they pulling these niggas out of the sky now. You thought Jay-Z and all these cats would be stars forever and ever, nigga. Like nothing could fuck with them. And all these people trying to pull them out of the sky.
Right.
Like there's
Right.
a leaf time, to the celebrity shit, dog. So it never lasts forever, God. All you could do is continue to reinvent yourself and just stay to your core people, man, and hold it the fuck down, man.
That's on that. No, that's a damn. I love it. You end the shows perfectly. I mean, it's like okay, like there we go. I that but it's funny. I did like this though, man, because you really helped like me sort out some things based on what I saw at you at 19 versus
Yes.
a grown ass man, some 40 years later, like or whatever,
Exactly.
30 years later. So I appreciate it, man. Um, Yo, I'm gonna Instagram always messes with us, so I think this is a good time to wrap it up. But if you don't mind, I want to do this again for the next one because there's some good questions on here that we didn't get to. But I got a hard stop because I do have another call to get on. But
Anytime, my brother.
I,
Anytime,
I thought
man.
this I thought this was good because yeah, this was good. You you shared a lot that like helps understand you more, man. So I really appreciate it. Really.
Indeed, brother. Indeed. Solid, intelligent questions, man. I'll always give the reciprocity, man. So I appreciate you, big brother.
Yeah, no, it's great. And this has been episode 43 of Constant Elevation. We do this the first Wednesday of the month, of every single month. So this will be up on our YouTube channel as well as our other ones up there. So appreciate everybody rocking out with us.
Indeed,
Legendary
bro.
brother Jay. And real quick, documentary on still in the works, right? That's
Yeah, we'll be dropping that this year. I don't have a street date because we're still in production, but um, we'll we'll be the first to know here on this motherfucking shit. So
all
as
right.
soon as we get tight, then I'll let you know a street date.
Yes, sir. And we go hard with that promo. Let everybody know this is gonna be an important one. So salute. Appreciate you as always. Great build, man. Thank you very much. And
Appreciate
we'll talk soon. We'll be back next month. So
it.
thank you very much. All right, peace, fam.
Peace, Gar. One.